Hey there, Doughboy here, and in honor of the holiday season, I'd like to go through my top 5 favorite Christmas movies. Some of my picks are a little unconventional compared to some other top lists, but it's my list, so you might not agree with what I pick, but whatever, they're still good movies. Anyway, here they are. Number 5 is Gremlins. Gremlins takes place around the holiday season, and in it, a young guy gets a Mogwai as a gift for Christmas, and he names it Gizmo. A Mogwai is a cute little creature that can't be exposed to direct sunlight, it can't get wet, and it can't eat after midnight. If a Mogwai gets wet, it'll multiply into several other Mogwai, but the rest of them don't quite have the same demeanor as Gizmo does. Gizmo's a good, cute little guy, whereas the rest of them are kind of troublemakers. The troublemaker Mogwais trick the guy into feeding them after midnight. And when they're fed after midnight, they go into a cocoon, and when they come out of the cocoon, they're not so cute anymore. They've turned from cute little Mogwais into twisted-looking gremlins. You don't want to feed Mogwais after midnight, or else you get this. Or this. Or this. Hubba hubba. And from there, they cause all kinds of trouble. Just trying to reproduce and make more of them. And take over the town. Number 4 is The Muppet Christmas Carol. The Muppet Christmas Carol is a retelling of the old story of A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens, where Ebenezer Scrooge is a greedy old man, and after being visited by several ghosts, he changes his ways and becomes a nice man. Ebenezer Scrooge isn't just visited by Jacob Marley, he's visited by Marley and Marley, the Marley brothers, who are the two old men that always sit in the balcony on the Muppet Show, and they're always complaining about the show. Then there's the Ghost of Christmas Past, who I've always thought was a little creepy. I mean, look at her. Look at her. It's kind of creepy, isn't it? Then he's visited by the Ghost of Christmas Present, who is a lot nicer and a lot less scary looking than the last one. He seems like someone I could hang out with, maybe party with. The Ghost of Christmas Future is the typical scary looking Grim Reaper type guy. Number 3 is Batman Returns. I am Batman. In Batman Returns, Batman is played by Michael Keaton. The Penguin is played by Danny DeVito. And Catwoman is played by Michelle Pfeiffer. Oh my. Ooh. Oh, and there's also another bad guy that's played by Christopher Walken that I always seem to forget about, probably because he's overshadowed by the other villains in the movie. Number 2 is A Nightmare Before Christmas. The Nightmare Before Christmas is the story of Jack Skellington, who isn't quite happy with the routine thing of Halloween all the time. Being from Halloween Town, he only knows Halloween. That's all he sees all the time. So one day he stumbles across a ring of trees with doors in them that lead to different holidays. And one of these doors leads to Christmas Town, where Jack is completely amazed by what he sees there. And after that, he devises a plan that he's going to bring Christmas to Halloween Town. So he kidnaps Santa Claus and then makes his own Christmas, making himself the new Santa Claus, and he replaces like the good jolly toys that Santa Claus brings with some scary evil Halloween toys from Halloween Town. Sally falls in love with Jack. Jack devises plan to bring Christmas to Halloween Town. Girl falls in love with boy. Boy devises plan to take over Christmas. Boy nearly kills children across the world with evil toys. It's a typical story of love. It's a great movie, though. You should check it out. If you haven't seen it, you've been living under a rock. Go watch it. And finally, my number one Christmas movie is... You guessed it. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. In National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, Clark Griswold wants to have a happy, big Christmas get-together with all of his family. So he invites all of his family over to his house. And like a lot of families, they're pretty dysfunctional. There's some interesting characters, like the forgetful, hard-of-hearing grandmother, and his redneck brother with his family in the camper outside. All hilarity ensues with the crazy-ass family members' crazy-ass hijinks. Such as the brother pumping out the toilet of his RV into the sewer. But in the end, all goes pretty well. Clark gets his beautiful lit-up house with thousands and thousands of Christmas lights. And he gets to spend Christmas with his family. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation is a Christmas classic, and I watch it every year. If you haven't seen any of these movies, I highly recommend all of them. Oh, and if you haven't already checked them out, go over to my friend Sociopathic Pasta's YouTube page and check out his creepypastas. I have a retelling on there of the classic A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens, but with a little bit of a creepypasta flair to it. Go check it out. Merry Christmahannakwanzacyule, and good night.